Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bygone Island.
Oh, is this is the second hub world?
This is the second hub world, and it's about twice the size of the first one, or at least it feels that way. Um,
I wish this hub world would be gone.
Good one, Gareth.
As you can see in the loading screen, which is the only loading screen we ever see of this place, there are like platforming areas and stuff that different characters can go through while you're exploring the city. Also, I like how the cutscene loads about a second after the area where the characters spawn in on the beach, but then it cuts to the cutscene. Stuff like that happens all the time in this game, and it really bugs me. It's just really shoddy programming on a basic level.
What do you mean this game's badly programmed?
Anyway, I'm going to try and be fairly efficient at in what order I do things in Bygone Island. But at one point in a later part, I still had to fade past a significant portion of backtracking.
Well, at least you do the trick with Sonic and the spin dash to go a little bit faster.
I wasted so much time in it because the map in this section is, to me, I found so confusing. I wasted so much time. I was just lost as shit in this place.
My first time, I spent like 25 minutes just wandering, unaware of what the hell I was supposed to do.
I wish I'd only spent 25 minutes.
Anyway, here's our excuse for having more things to rebuild on Bygone Island. We're helping Mr. Politician Walrus Person get reelected by donating to his reconstruction efforts.
Isn't he the only one running? Like, isn't that?
He is yeah. Well,
Yeah.
actually, there's a bit of
Yeah, but have you seen the population?
There's a bit of contradiction here, actually. When you talk to Fastidious Beaver, he mentions that he's running, but when you talk to the girl who runs the security forces, she says that this guy here is running unopposed.
Both of these characters, both this and Fastidious Beaver, both voiced by Mike Pollock, and they're amazing.
Wait, really? Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, you can sort of hear it.
It's kind of funny because, like, to me, it kind of sounds like this mayor character kind of sounds like Mike's doing a impression of Screwball Squirrel, and with Fastidious Beaver, because I asked him this, he is directed as because he sounds like Droopy as Fastidious Beaver. So it's kind of funny that like both of Mike Pollock's side characters just kind of sound like classic cartoon Tex Avery
Wait,
characters.
I've never heard of the squirrel one before.
He wasn't that well known. He had a couple of he was kind of a crappy character, but his voice sounds very. Oh, and it's Six
Oh, hey, it's that character from Skies of Arcadia.
with her big dead eyes. Look at them; they don't move. Look how dead her eyes are.
No, you see, Sticks the Beaver looks even more
Sticks the
Is she a beaver or is she a raccoon?
She's a badger.
Badger.
Sticks
The answer is C, none of the above.
No, guys, she's clearly a raccoon.
Sticks the Badger looks even more rushed than the other NPCs in this game, and that's saying something.
I would say, like, I mean, I know we've argued about. I think Shadow and Metal Sonic were kind of chucked in at the last minute. I would say, without a certainty, Styx was clearly thrown in 2 weeks before the game was finished.
She wasn't
Yeah.
even given a boss fight or anything like that. She's just sort of there with a bunch of random extra collectibles.
She exists in the world, and she does have a fairly funny half-second appearance in the ending, but that's it. Is like, you'd think that them meeting Styx here would be an important event, since she's a playable character in the other version.
That's what I was thinking.
And she's a brand new character.
But no, she's not treated as anything more than an NPC here.
If you were
It's very weird.
basically, if you were to play this game and be like, which one of these side characters do you think would be like an actual character, you'd probably think Percy, the one we're about to meet coming up, or maybe the Beaver because he turns out like 7 times.
Percy being who?
The farmer dude who wants to fight the robots, is that him?
No, it's the other female, the purple.
the female, the purple female who we
the purple
see.
female. Like we don't know her race.
Well, wait. Here's the thing. There's a soundtrack. There's a sound
Clip where
bite.
Amy goes, "Good job, Percy," which it's apparently she was playable at one point, possibly, we don't know, or she had a bigger role.
But she says it like 3 or 4 times in one section that I recorded later on. And I was so confused. Who are you talking about?
The waterfall level, right?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, wait a minute. What are you talking about here?
So okay, so Percy, the character who we're gonna come up to, who asks us whose family has been defending against Lyric for 1,000
Yeah,
years.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
there's voice samples where Amy says in at combat, "Good job, Percy."
Which you'll say that in the actual final game.
Yes.
Yes, so yeah, basically there's a section where it's Amy and Knuckles are fighting, and you'd imagine she'd be like, "Good job, Knuckles," but she says, "Good job, Percy." Now, apparently, Amy either has split personality disorder, or Percy was playable at one point and they cut her out.
Like I've never heard that. I've never heard that line before.
I did, and I was so confused. I was like, were they talking about the robot? But then I remembered, no, the robot's name is Quincy, so who the hell is she talking about? Why, like, there's no people here. I'm in a waterfall cave.
I just assumed that was Amy's nickname for Knuckles.
Amy's sock puppet.
Amy's like, "Let's go, Percy." That's not my name, Amy. Leave me alone.
It's Knuckles.
it's Knuckles, Percy, Knuckles, Percy.
I had to listen for that. Does it happen here in this playthrough?
Yes, it happens actually a couple times running in this playthrough. Also, that blue circle where Styx used to be standing never goes away, even if you leave the area.
Yeah, that really aggravates me because I always have a hard time trying to find Styx to give her the shinies that I found.
Well, you don't actually give Styx the shinies in person. You go to the upgrade stand by her
Yeah.
house, and that transfers the shinies.
Thank God Styx was in the game.
In any case, this guy's here again. I don't really know how he got from where we were to here, but yeah.
He jump cut.
He jump cut to the island. We can learn much from him.
See, everyone calls Knuckles stupid, but he makes a Captain Ahab reference. He's smarter than everyone else.
Like your friends.
That was so awkward.
Chili dogs. I like how Ahab, I'm not even gonna try calling this guy by his name, actually takes that comment and just runs with it. Completely straight-faced.
Why would he stop dancing for? Look at him!
Hey, he's just happy, man. All right, leave him alone.
Stop being so jolly, fat man.
He's jolly because he comes from Jolly Roger Bay.
Where everyone is required to be jolly, even if they're not.
No, it's named Jolly Roger Bay because the guy who lives there's name is Jolly.
Just find him for me. Where can we find him?
Alright.
Need a map to find this salamander. Mostly 'cause I have no.
Why can't you skip these cutscenes?
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Not being able to skip them is annoying. Not that I would be skipping them during the recording anyway.
Or the first playthrough. But,
On the second playthrough, it's kind of tedious.
yeah, I totally kicked the shit out of that treasure chest.
It's irksome on future playthroughs though, because you don't really care about listening to these guys yammer on for 2 minutes. You just want to get to the thing, whatever the thing happens to be. And if God forbid if anyone actually speedruns this game.
No, there was an exploit where they could get to the final boss in like a couple minutes. I think they've already found.
Yeah.
The speed run now is
Knuckles glitch.
under 40 minutes because of the Knuckles glitch.
Well, God forbid they patch this game and then anyone tries to.
I don't think it's
speedrun
gonna
it.
happen.
And then they'll just use the unpatched version.
Wouldn't it be some shit if they patched it and it ends up being a really fucking good game because of it?
Well, I think I've been saying. I think Ted was kind of saying the same thing. Like, it's if they were to patch this game and fix up the frame rate and all that the issues like that, it wouldn't be the best game ever made. But there's a pretty decent slash average slash not terrible game hidden underneath all the problems that could be fixed with a patch.
Well, here's the thing. Actually, I don't think the frame rate could really be fixed with a patch.
Unfortunately, not. No, but it's a shame because that ruined like all the speed sections are terrible to play because of that stupid frame rate.
Yeah, you don't really have enough time to register and react to things, and control is.
Okay, let me ask this then. Off the top of your heads, what do you think, if there would be a patch for this, what are some things you would like to see fixed that could be fixed?
Just the glitchiness.
The hydro dashing ramps from last part could be fixed. I'd like to see them do something about
Fix the boat sections with the controls. Although the biggest thing was if they patched it and then when you boot up the game, it plays colors instead.
That would be a big patch.
I was gonna make the same joke, but I was gonna use Generations. But
Generations wasn't on a Nintendo console, Johnny. It wouldn't work. It boots up Generations 3DS. 'Cause fuck you, that's why.
You know what they really should do? They should make a Wii U version of Sonic Generations with like 1 or 2 extra
It's too.
stages.
You'll have to wait till the 25th anniversary. So another.
Which is coming up in like a few years.
2
so
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been 3 years since we did Generations. Damn.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years.
Time's flying, man.
God, how time flies when you hate yourself.
Like, Clement, what would you think if you could say of anything? If it's something you would like to be patched.
I guess obviously just all the glitches. Like when you have 2D to 3D transitions, that shit has to be fixed, especially in that past factory level. There's so many problems to count. Like I can't name one specific thing. It really
Yeah.
is a buggy game, and there's a lot you'd have to fix.
I meant to hover, but I hit the stomp button by mistake.
No, it's weird because the past few games. I mean, I know this isn't a Sonic Team game, but I mean, All Stars Racing Transformed got a few patches. Lost World has obviously been patched a few times.
And it's better because of it.
Yeah, they didn't just patch glitches. They actually addressed complaints with the game in those patches, and I applaud them for that. Put back in getting lives for 100 rings. Give us some regular controls for all that gyroscope shit.
Make our entire commentary out of date within a month. Yeah.
And my review. Fuck you, Sega.
But a part of me thinks because, you know, for stuff like, you know, we should comment on like Sega didn't send out any review copies of this game. The fact that after the games came out, the Bob Raphael, I think his name, the head of Big Red Button, cancelled a lot of interviews with like Sonic sites and stuff. And the fact that Sega in general doesn't seem to be talking much about this game, I don't think we'll get a patch. I think Sega will just try and sweep this under the rug.
I totally get that vibe.
Which is, it's a shame because again, if they fix up some of the things, it would make this game, you know,
Yeah.
not bad.
Better, but in my opinion, probably not good.
Well, well, there's no changing the basic level design, and if that's not the kind of game you want to play with Sonic characters in it, then you're not going to, you know, really like it either way.
I don't think the level design's that bad. It's not amazing, but it's pretty
No, it's a
decent level
perfectly
design.
playable, fine rental game.
Yeah, it's a great PS2 game.
And you know, it's maybe comparing it to the adventure game.
Lewis, what are you doing?
There is a slight issue with turning when you're trying to punch something specific like a chest, because you can't actually turn while an attack animation is going. That I didn't see because of the goddamn mesh fence.
Oh god. So when I said earlier about the spinning walls, this is what the section I was talking about. I got Amy, Tails, and Knuckles to stand on that bottom ledge, and I just stood there for about 2 minutes watching that ball go back and forth.
I have
it in
another.
turns to
I
knock
have
him
a.
out.
I have a rather specific complaint. That second hit was me being stupid. But if you try to spin dash on a ramp for too long, eventually Sonic will just let her rip on his own.
Yeah, well, you need to get a move on it, man. You're too slow.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Oh god, the spin. Can we talk about how fucking useless the spin dash
No,
is
it's
in this
useful
game?
for combat. It's just not for like going places.
Here's what the spin dash is useless as a traveling move unless you have these fucking glowing blue spin dash here ramps.
Spin
But-
dash here. Spin dash here, you dumb fuck.
Apart from that, when it comes to getting around, it's basically no better than I'd say it's actually worse than Alucard backsliding everywhere to speed up while exploring the castle.
Yeah, at least that was humorous.
Yeah, but you know, in combat, the spin dash basically functions identically to the homing attack. It's even on the same button, except it's on the ground.
Yeah, it's great. That's why I like Sonic and Tails best as combat characters. Like, I don't know like if there's much merit to using the combos for like having a high combo when it comes to combat, but I just think it's more fun to see the number go up. And Sonic, because of Tails' ranged attacks and Sonic's spin dash / homing attacks, they're the best at keeping a high combo going. So that's why I tend to gravitate towards them in combat sections.
It's easiest to go from enemy to enemy without breaking your flow as Sonic and Tails, especially as Sonic, since he can actually do that and get up close. Whereas with Tails, you're stuck in place doing ranged attacks.
You can always continuously use the Enter Beam, though, to also rack up the combo. It's pretty funny.
Well, that's not. Yeah, but that's not cool
doing it that
looking.
way. No, that's not cool, but it's funny.
What, the unintentional kind of comboing that?
Yeah, I mean, if you grab them with the Enter Beam and you throw them, and then immediately grab them again with the Enter Beam, that racks up the combo.
I have a complaint that really only starts becoming a problem with Amy now, but once she's on a balance beam, she can't get off the balance beam without running off the edge.
Yeah.
And, if she could jump away from the balance beam and onto the ledge behind the balance beam, you wouldn't need Tails to get up to the button to open that gate. You could just, in a much more straightforward fashion, in my opinion, platform your way up there as Amy instead. But because she can't, because she gets locked onto one two-dimensional axis while she's on a balance beam, nah. I mean, her sections are fun, but sometimes there are places where you wish you weren't so locked down. And I really could have done with a means of jumping off them, because there are a few places along the way where it's just infuriating to, well, get off the balance beams.
The Enter Beams, too, I would say, in the two that you can activate on Bygone Alley.
Oh, yes. You can't...
I said it again, didn't I? Fuck. Bygone Island.
Bygone Island, yes. You can't jump off these zip lines while you're zipping along them. There are two zip lines in particular that you power on by rebuilding lighthouses in the hub world that act as faster travel options, although they really only go along a certain area of the main town. You can't jump off them part way, so once you're on that zip line, you're committed to that trip until you're way on the other side of town.
Oh, you're right. She does say girl power.
I didn't realize Amy was part of the Spice Girls.
Well, if you want to be her lover, you gotta get with her friends, so you gotta be buddies with Knuckles.
Isn't that right, Percy?
Make it last forever. Lyric is forever.
Yeah, here's the thing about Sonic Boom. Rather than, sticking to the main canon, what they're trying to do is make Sonic hip and now, and that involves, more modern concepts of how the characters should be. And, characters like Amy Rose, as she's portrayed in the canon series, are kind of really fucking outdated and two-dimensional, and nobody really likes them anymore, not even the older folks.
Well, it's weird because you say that, because in Sonic the Comic, which was still going, say, when the Spice Girls came up, they've done this angle with Amy before in STC.
Yeah, so, but, it's like now that they're not tied to the previous canon, they're not tied to the previous Amy, so they just went with a more competent version for her. But I
have an issue with modernizing them though, because, Sonic is kind of a series that's sort of trapped in the '90s just due to his conception being like the cool, the cool, gotta go faster kind of character. If you try to modernize it, it's weird. It's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of situation where.
Well, it all depends on execution. Sometimes modernization can be really weird. Sometimes it can work in unexpected ways. Doctor Who, when they debuted the Ninth Doctor, I was surprised by how much I liked him. Even though he's nothing like any of the previous Doctors.
It kind of falls under the same crutch that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fall under.
Yeah.
Well, the cartoon series specifically.
Yeah.
Not so much the comic, but.
It's just when you hit that, there's a speed bump there. Well, not a speed bump, but more of a slippery slope where it's hard to modernize without alienating the older crowd who are just used to everything being a certain way.
Well, in what ways? Because I wouldn't view this as kind of them trying to modernize, with the exception of maybe how some of their dress, but in terms of say modernizing the characters. Personality, to me, Sonic feels the same here to a certain extent as he did in say Colors and in games like Colors.
It's really more like they're modernizing the general world, to be honest. But Amy in particular is a character you can really tell her character shift has more to do with the times than any kind of narrative reasons.
Well, again, like they teased this kind of progression for her at the end of SA1. They just decided not to go
Yeah.
through with it.
But, that's not necessarily something Big Red Button or what was the other development team?
Sansa.
well, yeah, that's another kind of thing. It's just like they try to make Amy this big power that like they try to make her way more competent, which I'm grateful for because she doesn't really do anything important in any of the games.
Yeah, she talks like a badass in the 3DS version and then immediately gets captured. Good job.
Hey,
That's-
yeah, I applaud them. They said we're gonna make Amy a competent, independent woman who gets kidnapped in the handheld version.
Let's have her stop defending herself to talk to Sonic for a few seconds, and then she gets
She had to
kidnapped.
take some selfies, all right, Johnny, leave her alone.
Stupid. She deserved to get kidnapped.
She was taking a selfie with a pumpkin spice latte, and a giant snake came up and put a headband on her. All right, happen to anyone. You sexist scum.
I like these modernized adaptations. Knuckles I'm on and off with the most in terms of personality, not design-wise. I got over that quite a while ago.
But Johnny skipped leg day.
on the subject of Knuckles, though, in the canon series, his portrayal has been the rockiest as of every game after Sonic 3 and Knuckles, mostly because they keep ignoring his motivation for being there. It's like,
Hey, SA1 was fine.
SA1 was fine. SA2 is like, okay, let's break the Master Emerald again so we can have Knuckles again. And in the future games, he just sort of forgets he has an emerald to guard.
And then there's Ken Penders.
Oh God.
And then there's Ken Penders. Oh god, no.
That's a whole other can of worms.
But in this game, they're not tied down by the Master Emerald, so they can just have Knuckles here, and it's okay. I don't have to think about what are you doing here.
I stopped caring years ago. Maybe this is just because my first Sonic game was SA2, but like, really, who cares?
That's exactly why.
Well,
it's not a big deal.
It's
for
just
you.
his characterization is based on this one duty that he has, and has been habitually ignoring for 5 or 6 games now.
No, SA2 established that he can stuff the thing up his ass. He just keep carrying it with him wherever he goes.
That's one way to stop giant air cruisers from blowing it up with laser beams. Yeah.
Well, I will say, in terms of not so much his backstory, but in terms of his personality, I like that from, I guess, really starting with Generations, they brought back I guess in the main series, they brought back like the Knuckles and Sonic as kind of rivals, because he doesn't have a lot of dialogue in Generations and Lost Group. I like that whenever Knuckles speaks, he's always like, I would have done this way better than you. He's kind of become like Cranky Kong. He's just always going, I can do this way better than you can. You scrub. Go fuck yourself.
Well, the rivalry is something that I also like that they brought back here. Also, are you noticing the problem with this section? We're still here, and I haven't found all the cannons. Do you know why? Because it's so wide open, and we're stuck in this top-down view that doesn't let you find anything. And you also can't use the map here.
You know what's really sad? Sonic Dash looks and runs better than this game does.
Speed sections, I'll grant you, definitely.
Oh, we're in the Riptide. I've been playing Tetris this whole time, and I haven't even looked at the screen.
Oh man, that shouldn't be funny.
Well, it's
but
just
it
like,
is.
I liked the game for my first playthrough, but when I said...
It's like, okay, this is an okay game.
Yeah, no, I said, but for that playthrough, I have no desire to go back and collect all the stuff or play it ever again.
And literally last week I went through the entire game, so I'm kind of, I've said all this shit before.
Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric is an average game. Would you go back to it? Oh fuck no! Rated it in.
This game, everyone's being a hater. This game ain't that bad. Wanna play it some more? Get the fuck away from me!
Okay, John, yeah, but would you go back and watch an average movie you saw once? No, you had enough.
Depends what the movie was.
So why is this so bad for people to call this Sonic
Because
06?
it's not broken. Well,
Yeah, it is broken. How do
No,
you
no,
not say-
I would. It's not broken.
the parts that, like, technical stuff aside, the stuff here is passable but not great, as opposed to the stuff in Sonic 06, where you've got ball puzzles and load times every 30 seconds. Well, that's a glitch. Okay, we can't really count that, but...
Even looking past the glitches in Sonic 06, there is a lot of bad design.
There's a lot more frustration
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
And you weird masochistic people who
Yeah.
would rather be frustrated than bored confuse the fuck out of me.
Because it's fun to riff on.
Get on our level, scrub.
Okay, well then that's what YouTube videos are for, John.
Well, guess what? YouTube videos is what we do.
Maybe playing Sonic 06 6 times isn't enough. Maybe we should do 3 more commentaries on it. How about
It's
that?
therapeutic, alright?
Yeah, we never did the DLC.
No! No!
Oh, no, I'm not touching those abominations ever again.
It still hurts that 06 got so much more DLC than Generations did.
All right. The part's over.
We finished the damn Riptide section. I'll see you all.
Next part.
When is
Tomorrow.
next part? Is it tomorrow? Is it next week? I don't know. I've lost count. Goodbye, everyone.